So President Trump issued a statement about a potential shutdown, a meeting with Democrats. Here is that statement. I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'm not even going to read any of it. Instead, here is an AI-generated Donald Trump to read at least a portion of it.
We must keep the government open and legislate like true patriots rather than hold American citizens hostage, knowing that they want our now thriving country closed. I'll be happy to meet with them if they agree to the principles in this letter. They must do their job. Otherwise, it will just be another long and brutal slog through their radicalized quicksand. To the leaders of the Democrat Party, the ball is in your court. I look forward to meeting with you when you become realistic about the things that our country stands for.
Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun? I know I've said that I'm anti-AI, but I thought that was pretty enjoyable. Anyway, my hypocrisy aside, what do I think Democrats should do here? I think Democrats should see this as a victory. When Trump rejects a meeting with them, when he says he's not going to negotiate, he's not going to do anything, knowing full well that his party controls the government, that I think enables Democrats to place the blame for a shutdown on the Republican Party. Again, the Republicans control the government, and so it's a pretty easy messaging feat to say, well, they're responsible for this. And I think Democrats should continue making demands for their assistance. I know congressional Democrats are focused on health care as a major demand, but my suggested demand would be no funding the government as long as you are going to be aggressively breaking the law. That means no funding the government if you're going to be engaging in impoundments, not spending congressionally appropriated money. That means no funding the government if you're going to be skirting judicial rulings. And you can have ways to enforce this. You can insert provisions that would deprive the White House of its travel budget if they engage in impoundments or rescissions. You can defund Stephen Miller if you wanted to, as a consequence for not following the letter of the law. And looking ahead to the future, to hopefully a future where Democrats have control of Congress, utilizing congressional control over the White House budget, over the Supreme Court budget, I think ought to be on the list of mechanisms for enforcing accountability. If you are behaving in ways that cut against the law, that are corrupt and partisan in the case of the court, then there's nothing stopping Congress from, for example, depriving the court of its building and its clerks, or just slashing the White House staff to the absolute bone. Anyway, Democrats should welcome a shutdown. I think it'll play out in their favor. And if anything else, the public needs to touch the stove on this one.